Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, 65-year-old man charged with raping teenager granted bail. A 65-year-old man who is charged with raping a teenager was granted bail in the sum of $300,000 when he appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Wednesday. He is Lennox Jones of Guys Hill, St. Catherine. The matter was mentioned before Senior Parish Court Judge Yvette Wentworth Miller. Attorney Denise Hinson made the bail application on her client's behalf. As a condition of his bail, Jones has been told to report to the Gill Police Station in St. Mary each Saturday and reappear in court on March 13, 2025. It is alleged that in May 2024, the 19-year-old complainant was on her way to school in St. Catherine when she was raped by the accused. The matter was reported in January 2025 and an investigation launched, which resulted in the arrest and the charge of the accused. St. James man pleads guilty to escaping custody to be sentenced next month. Fidel Ferguson, one of the 5 inmates who escaped from police custody on December 14, 2024 and was recaptured the following day, will know his fate when he returns to the St. James Parish Court for sentencing in that matter on February 18. Ferguson, who is 36 years old and of a Mountain View address in Greenwood in St. James, pleaded guilty to escaping custody when he appeared briefly before presiding parish judge Dan Bernard on Wednesday. Does Your Honor wish in this matter for his criminal records? The clerk of the court inquired of Bernard after Ferguson submitted his guilty plea. Yes, and also a social inquiry report, replied Bernard. You'll be sentenced in this matter on February 18. In addition, Ferguson is currently awaiting sentencing on another matter, which is also before the St. James Parish Court. He was previously tried and found guilty on the charge of larceny of a motor vehicle, an offense committed on July 18 that year. Regarding the escaping custody charge, reports are that Ferguson, who was in custody at the Barnett Street Police Station lockup in Montego Bay, escaped custody alongside 4 other prisoners between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. on December 14, 2024. He was recaptured at 3 a.m. on December 15 after residents of Paisley District saw him there and summoned the police. According to reports, when the police arrived in the area, Ferguson was seen suffering from a gunshot wound to his leg. He was taken to the hospital under police guard and subsequently charged with escaping custody. 2 of the other 4 escapees, 42-year-old laborer Edgar Spence of Flower Hill District in St. James and the murder-accused Tyrese Brown of Albertown in Trelawney, were killed in subsequent police operations. Spence was killed in an alleged shootout with the police within 24 hours of escaping, while Brown was killed in a confrontation with the police in Freeman's Hall, Trelawney. The other 2 inmates are still on the run. They are Daniel McIntosh of Peddler's Lane, Mount Salem, St. James, who is charged with possession of a prohibited weapon, and Maurice Belnavis of Norwood, St. James, charged with simple larceny. Under Section 17 of the Criminal Justice Administration Act, it is an offense for a person who is lawfully detained on a criminal charge to escape from custody or to rescue any such individual from custody. Offenders may be subjected to any term of imprisonment as warranted by law and to be kept at hard labor during part of or the entire sentence. Man concerned for family left behind after prison term, removal from U.S., tears and affairs as the 52 gets a boot. Corny Wilson appeared lost as he stepped on home soil for the first time in 33 years on Thursday after he and the 51 other Jamaicans landed at the Norman Manley International Airport after being deported from the United States. In fact, it was his first real sense of freedom in more than a decade after spending the last 13 years in a U.S. prison. "I got in some trouble," was all he was ready to admit as he spoke to the news after emerging among the first of the deportees released after hours of processing. Thursday's deportation exercise was part of the routine involuntary removal of Jamaican citizens from the North American country, which happens every last Thursday. It was, however, the first such a chartered flight to Jamaica since President Donald Trump returned to office on January 20 and amid reports that some 5,120 Jamaicans were on a list of close to 1.5 million migrants in the U.S. targeted for removal by U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. While awaiting the arrival of his brother to pick him up, Wilson expressed concern for his family left in the U.S. He noted that he left Jamaica in 1993 and was residing in Philadelphia in the state of Pennsylvania. My kids and grandkids are there. It's not a good feeling. I just got a great-granddaughter who will be 3 next month. I have not met her yet, Wilson told the news. Noting that he was penniless, he questioned the money allegedly paid by the American government to the Jamaican government for the deportation process. I hear the Americans give the Jamaican government money for every deportee, but we don't see that, he said. Ask any deportee and them tell you that. That is the story we hear. The news was unable to corroborate the claim. Wilson said he counted 6 women on the flight, which landed about 10 a.m. on Thursday. One of the women told the news that she was away for a short time, illegally crossing the U.S.-Mexico border just 3 months ago. The air was filled with anticipation as the nervous relatives milled about, scanning the faces of all arriving passengers to find their kin. It's been 8 years since he went away, one sibling told the news. I'm just excited and anxious to see him. Tears and hugs followed as others were reunited with their loved ones, though some were not as fortunate. A few deportees were handed over to local police for continued investigation into charges that they had absconded. One man, whose head was covered, was taken by St. James Police, while another, wanted for murder in Clarendon, was dragged into a nearby holding cell until officers from that parish arrived. On Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, in her debut press briefing, stressed that the Trump administration would be ramping up deportations. The president has said countless times that he is focused on launching the largest mass deportation operation in American history of illegal criminals, and if you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are by definition a criminal, and therefore you are subject to deportation, she said. On Wednesday, the Jamaican government said that the National Security Council was assessing risk associated with the deportation of Jamaicans with serious criminal backgrounds and was formulating strategies to mitigate potential threats. In a statement yesterday, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith noted that some individuals said to be deported may have breached immigration laws but have otherwise been law-abiding residents engaged in productive employment. She said others have been convicted of serious criminal offenses, including violent crimes. Johnson-Smith said the government was concerned about the potential impact of the anticipated increased return of individuals with serious criminal backgrounds and is taking steps to ensure public safety. She urged the Jamaicans in the U.S. who are concerned about their immigration status to seek professional legal advice. Clarendon taxi operators welcome meeting with police. Clarendon taxi operators who ply the Maypen to Moko route have welcomed a meeting with the police held Thursday afternoon in Maypen. The taxi operators, while calling for regularly scheduled meetings, say improved relations between the two groups will promote road safety.
Yeah man, I'm a good meeting man. Taxi man and the police we have a nice relationship, you know. So it's a good meeting, so I love it.
Once every 2 months, every police in every area come up and go up and park and talk to the taxi operator. Them would that feel better for the streets, you know, so you have police out here we are support with and I look out for benefit.
Meanwhile, Assistant Superintendent Adrian Fleming, Zone 1 Commander for Clarendon, said that the meeting was prompted by indiscipline among some operators on the Maypen to Moko route. He said that the police are desirous of a harmonious relationship with the taxi operators but warned that the Road Traffic Act will be enforced.
We will do whatever it is necessary to ensure that compliance is gained. So if the taximen refuse to comply with the laws, we will have no choice but to issue them tickets as we should. We will have no choice than to seek them out and bring them before the courts to ensure that they answer for any issue of negligence or any issue of non-compliance with the law. We want taxi operators to recognize that they play an important role in society as the police. So what we want from them is partnership and a holistic working relationship. And we believe that when we have that, we'll see lesser lives being lost.
4 people have died in motor vehicle crashes in Clarendon since the start of this year. Meanwhile, 24 road fatalities were recorded in the parish last year, among them 2 students of Lennon High who died in a crash on the Bustamante Highway in December. They were passengers in a vehicle the police say had been operating as an illegal taxi. The driver is before the court in relation to causing death by dangerous driving and to other charges. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.